The Texas Tech campus is showcasing the unique difference of the campus community during the annual Diversity Week celebration. Coming up, find out how awareness is being raised for one group of Red Raiders through a special event.
Adjusting to college life can be difficult for any student, but especially for those who may be the first ones in their family to work towards a degree. We'll show you how one department is working to make that transition easier for first-generation Red Raiders.
And some big competition on the diamond and the court this weekend is bringing some extra attention to the Texas Tech athletics. MCTV's Natalie DuPre has a preview of those games and a look at the spring return of Tech football in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Jaxon Stallings.
And I'm Lukas Moreno. Diversity Week 2023 is currently underway here on campus. Since Monday, the week-long celebration has featured more than half a dozen events to help showcase the many differences that make Texas Tech such a unique place.
Earlier today, one campus department joined in on this week's festivities by helping bring awareness to a group of Red Raiders who are more than just your average student. Starting at 11 a.m., Tech's Military and Veterans Program held an MRE tasting outside the sub in the West Plaza gazebo. Students passing by could stop and try out the contents of a military MRE, or meals ready to eat. MREs are issued to service members in combat or field conditions where other food may not be available. The meals are self-contained in a package that is made to survive in difficult conditions with items that can last for years.
Showcasing our, for Diversity Week, what our diverse student population looks like in terms of veterans and military officiates here on campus, as well as letting the student population here sample some of our fine military cuisine. I say that loosely. So we're here showcasing MREs, what that looks like, how it's packaged, and just giving them some free samples.
Texas Tech has consistently been ranked as one of the best schools for veterans and members of the military, with more than 3,000 current and former service members who are enrolled or are employed by Texas Tech. Today's MRE tasting wrapped up at 1 p.m., but there's still one day remaining in this year's Diversity Week celebration. Diversity Week concludes tomorrow night at the Black Cultural Center with a game of Lotteria. Lotteria is a bingo-style game, and participants will have the chance to win prizes during the event. Tomorrow's final activity starts at 5 p.m. and it's free and open to all students.
With spring break over and the end of the semester just weeks away, many campus groups are hosting events and activities to engage with students before the summer begins. And yesterday evening, one of those groups headed a few blocks off campus to take advantage of the spring weather and have some fun. Members of Tech's first-generation transition and mentoring programs invited first-gen students to the Tech Terrace area for a party at the park. Staff members, mentors, and students met up at Tech Terrace Park at 5 p.m. to enjoy some outdoor games, volleyball, and free food. All students who are classified as first generation were welcome to attend, giving them the chance to meet new people and strengthen relationships with other Red Raiders.
It's just kind of a mixer time for all of our first generation students to come hang out with our mentors and just have a good time, have that community aspect of our organization, and really just get to meet everybody and make new friends.
Party at the Park was just one event that FGTMP has held this semester. Last month, the First Gen Student Summit was held at the Sub, giving current students and prospective high school students the chance to connect and learn more about the university. For more information about Tech's first-generation transition and mentoring programs and all they have to offer, visit diversity.ttu.edu/FTGMP.
Earlier this week, some students may have been surprised to receive a message from the university's emergency notification system. Luckily, Tuesday's communication was only a test. At 10:50 a.m. on Tuesday, the annual spring semester test of the Tech Alert System took place across campus. The test included phone calls, texts, and emails sent out to anyone signed up through the Tech Alert website. Students heading to class may have also noticed automated messages that were announced through building-wide alert systems. A Tech Alert test is held each fall and spring to make sure the system is working and for members of the tech community to be sure they receive messages sent by the university. The main difference between the fall and spring test is the use of the outdoor tornado sirens here on campus. The sirens were set off on Tuesday to make sure the system was ready to go in case of a tornado warning is issued that includes the Texas Tech campus. In the past, the university was the only facility inside the Lubbock city limits that had an active tornado siren system. But as of last year, Lubbock now has sirens throughout the city that will be used in the event of an imminent threat. Tornado season is right around the corner, with severe weather expected to become even more of a factor over the next few weeks.
Lubbock isn't expected to see thunderstorms tonight, but is there any chance of rain or storms in the near future? Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. The MCTV tower cam has been showing a mix of clouds and sunshine throughout the day, but the cloud cover has steadily increased since this morning. Temperatures have also increased throughout the day, with highs nearing the 80-degree mark. We should top out above 80 before sunset, but it won't be quite as warm as yesterday's high of 86 degrees. Unfortunately, one other thing that will increase later today is the wind. The speeds are expected to climb to 20 to 30 miles per hour, with gusts reaching as high as 40. Tonight, temperatures will begin to drop quickly after sunset, as winds bring a cold front into our area. Wind speeds should decrease overnight, but it will still be breezy. Tonight's low will be a bit cooler than the last few evenings, dropping into the low 40s after midnight. Tomorrow, the cold front will continue to affect the area, with highs only reaching the upper 60s. The day will start out with lots of sunshine and light winds, but by afternoon, we'll see a return of the clouds and gusty conditions. Wind speeds will stay around 20 to 30 miles per hour and continue throughout the night. Friday's winds are forecast to continue into Saturday, and the cooler conditions will also stick around. Saturday's high is expected to be back in the 60s, but we could see slightly stronger winds, speeds, and gusts above 40 miles per hour. The winds will lead to even cooler temperatures on Saturday night, but luckily wind speeds should decrease quickly after sunset. By Sunday, calmer conditions are back in the forecast, setting up for a pretty nice day. Sunday's high will still be cooler than today's 80-degree temps, but there will be plenty of sunshine and afternoon highs in the 60s. Looking ahead, the relief from the wind should last a couple more days past the weekend before another round of gusty conditions midweek. But we could also potentially see some rainfall before the end of March.
During the week before spring break, Texas Tech Students Government Association hosted their annual elections. Students voted on 4 executive candidate positions, and 2 of those results were announced the day before the break. But the remaining 2 positions are pending as a runoff is currently underway. On Friday, March 10th, the results of this year's elections were announced in the sub-courtyard. At that time, Emily Sanderson was announced as the new internal vice president, and Hunter Robinson was elected as a graduate vice president. Both winners will serve during the next school year. Also during the announcement, candidates for student body president and external vice president found out that their races would be going to a runoff since no one received 50% of the vote. Those runoffs started yesterday and continue through today until 7 p.m. The races have been narrowed down to the top 2 candidates in each race. Kara Ashworth and Kendall Tolley are up for external vice president, and Aliana Mayfield and Joel Rivero are vying for the position of student body president. Once the runoff election ends, the final results are scheduled to be announced tomorrow evening in the sub-courtyard.
Texas Tech's baseball and softball team are both gearing up to take on one of their biggest rivals this weekend after recent success on the diamond.
And Lady Raider basketball is continuing their long-awaited run in the postseason. MCTV's Natalie DuPre has those stories and more in sports. Natalie?
Thanks, Jackson and Lucas. It's been another great week in Raiderland with Texas Tech Athletics. Let's jump right into it. Rocky Johnson Field saw a Tech win on Wednesday where the Red Raiders softball team beat Abilene Christian University 8-0. The game started slow, but Ariana Villa turned up the heat in the bottom of the 3rd with a 2-run home run to put Tech on the board 2-0. Another star for the game, Ellie Bailey got her 6th home run in the last 7 games to bring in 2 more runs. Right-handed pitcher Sage Hoover secured her perfect record and kept ACU scoreless while Tech earned their 13th win of the season. Coming up this Friday at 6 p.m., the Red Raiders will face UT in their Big 12 opener. Texas Tech baseball will also take on UT for their next upcoming game in Austin, Texas for a 3-game series. Tech baseball has been hot recently, and the team will hope to get 3 more W's playing in Longhorn territory. Moving on to women's basketball, the Lady Raiders shut down SMU 61-49 Monday night to advance to the Super 16 of the WNIT. Freshman Bailey Maupin proved to be the MVP in the showdown with a staggering 21 points. Other double-point scorers include Bree Amber Scott with 11 points and 7 rebounds, and Bryn Gerlich with 10 points, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds. The Lady Raiders will take on Arkansas on the road for the Super 16 with tip-off at 7 p.m. All of Raiderland will be sure to be cheering this team on to bring home the win. Texas Tech spring football is on its way with the first of 15 practices starting up on Tuesday. Head coach Joey McGuire will be going on his second year with Texas Tech football and states in an open letter to Tech fans that he is going to continue to invest in the student athletes in his program. Tech football's annual spring game will be April 22nd at Lowry Field at Plains Capital Park. Tech students, be sure to come out and support and get a sneak peek of what's to come this fall for Red Raider football. Alrighty, that's all for sports. Back to you, Lucas and Jackson.
Thanks, Natalie. So Jackson, are you planning to go to this year's spring football game?
I might actually be a part of the band there.
Really? I didn't know they showed up. That's cool. Well, that's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check out ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.